Alright guys, good day guys. So today we are going to be looking at sword. Sword are square root of non-perfect squares. Swords are square root of what? Non-perfect square. What is a non-perfect square? You want to ask yourself, what is a non-perfect square? A non-perfect square is actually an irrational what? Number. These are square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 7, square root of what? 5. These are square root of numbers in which their square are not whole numbers. Their square are not rational now. Okay? Their square will give you, by the time you look at the square root of 2, your answer will be in decimal, and the decimal is actually in continuity, which is to infinity. Okay? So those are called irrational numbers. Example of perfect square are square root of 4, square root of 9, square root of 16, square root of 36. Okay, these are perfect square because their squares are what? Rational numbers. Their square are rational numbers. Their squares are whole number. All right. So how do we solve sword? We solve sword using two methods. Number one is by expressing a sword in terms of a simpler sword, if possible. Like I say sword are square root of non-perfect squares. So whenever we are actually dividing or adding or subtracting or multiplying this non-perfect square, we are talking about what? Sword. So there are two methods in which we can solve sword. Number one is by expressing a sword in terms of simpler sword, if what? Possible. For example, we have the square root of 72. 72 is not a perfect square. Why is 72 not a perfect square? 72 is not a perfect square because the value you get is not a rational number. It's not a rational number. So for us to solve the square root of 72 in mathematics, we use this first method, which I call by expressing it in a term of simpler sort if possible. We're going to look for two numbers or two factors of 72 in which when we multiply, it will give us what? 72. 72 have other factors like 3 times 14, 3 times 24 will give you 72. But we chose to use 2 times what? 36 because we have a perfect square here. 36 is actually what? Perfect square. So 2 times 36 will give you 72. So we split the 72 by solving 2 times what? 36, which is the same thing as the square root of 2 times the square root of what? 36. Now the square root of 2 is what? Irrational. Okay? The square root of 2 is what? Irrational. But the square root of 36 is what? Rational. Because 6 times 6 is what? 36. And 6 is a what? Rational number. So finally we have what? The square root of 36, which we equals to 6, and the square root of 2. Our final answer here will be what? 6 what? Root what? 2. So we have tried to what? Simplify. We have tried to express this larger sword to what? A more simpler what? Sword. The second method which we can use to solve sword is by rationalizing the denominator. By what? Rationalizing the what? Denominator. First of all, I say the first method is by what, class? Is by what? By expressing a sword. All right. The first method in which we can solve sword is by what, class? By expressing a sword in terms of what? Simpler sword, if what? Possible. While the second method is by what? Rationalizing the what? Denominator. All right, thank you very much. By rationalizing the denominator, this is what we do. We try, for example, this is 1 over 2 plus square root of what? 2. You can see that this is a what? Sword. It's going to give you a what? An irrational what? Number. Okay? So what we do, we try to what? Rationalize the what? Denominator. So how do we rationalize the denominator? We rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator with a conjugate sword. With a what? Conjugate sword. With a what? Conjugate what? Sword. All right. So this is a conjugate sword. 1 over 2 plus root 2 times 2 minus square root of 2 all over 2 minus square root of 2. Now, 1 times this, 1 times 2 minus square root of 2 will give you what? 2 minus what? Square root of what? 2. Because 1 times any number will give you that same number. But for this now, for the denominator, we are multiplying 2 plus square root of 2 times what? 2 minus what? Square root of 2. And in mathematics, when we have this type of expression of a plus b multiplying by a minus b, our answer will give us what? A square times what? B square. So solving with this as an example, we will have 2 square. By the time we multiply this times this, we have what? 2 square minus what? The square root of what? 2 square. So I put the square root of 2 square in brackets so that we don't what? Mix things up. So this will give us 2 square root of 2 times 2 will give us what? 4. Then this square we cancel the what? Square root, and we'll have what? 2. 2 is left alone. This square we cancel the what? Square root, and 2 will be left what? Alone. So we have 4 minus 2. Our final answer is 2 minus square root of 2 all over what? 2. Alright, so in my next video, we are going to be solving questions, both WAEC questions and JAMB questions regarding the what? Solve. So you can drop your questions and comment in the comment box. Thank you very much. So see you in my next video.